Spooky Friends. We're on day 18 of our 31 Days of Horror Movie Villains, and today we're going to talk about Red from Us. Now, if you've seen the movie Us, Red being a villain is debatable, but we're going to talk about it. Us is directed by Jordan Peele, and Lupita Nyong'o plays both Red and Adelaide. When we first meet Adelaide, she is a young girl, and she sees a version of herself in the House of Mirrors, and it's very disturbing. And then we see an adult Adelaide going to Santa Cruz again with her family. She has not been since she was a young girl, and they're going on this vacation. And it's clear that Adelaide is very uneasy about this vacation. She does not want to go to the beach, but her family is like, oh, it'll be fun, don't worry about it. Why are you so worried? Some weird things start happening throughout the movie. She sees like some people in these red jumpsuits, and then later on in the night, her son lets her know, hey, there's a family in our driveway. And she looks outside and there's this family in red jumpsuits, and they're all identical to them. A doppelganger for each part of the family. And they take over the house. Then we meet Red. All the people in the red jumpsuits are referred to as the Tethered, and they have very weird mannerisms. They look almost identical to their counterparts, but the way they move is very strange, and it seems like Red is the only person that can actually speak, but she has a damaged larynx. The Tethered are an identical copy of the people up above ground. The Tethered live in like the abandoned subway stations, and they are forced to basically do every single action that the people above do. So for instance, when Adelaide meets her husband, she's forced to partner up with the Tethered version of her husband. When she gives birth to her two children, poor Red has to give birth to these two monster children. All of this against her will because she has no say in the matter. And she basically lets them know that they're there to rise up. She has led this rebellion of the Tethered. They are coming out from underneath the ground to take over the lives of their counterparts. We see lots of other families succumb to the Tethered. We see like all the Tethered, they're standing in a row holding hands. And later on we learn more about their plan and the heartbreaking truth behind Red. We learn that Red is actually Adelaide. Red is the actual human counterpart that lived above ground, and Adelaide is the Tethered. And that one day when she sees a version of herself in the House of Mirrors, that was actually Adelaide. And for some reason, Adelaide felt called to leave the underground, meet her counterpart in the House of Mirrors, strangle her, and then lock her in the subway station to leave her there to go take over her life. So the actual Adelaide, this poor little girl, has been trapped underneath the ground this entire time. And we learn like the Tethered's diet consists of just raw rabbits. It's like a really terrible existence. And so we fully understand the anger that Red has towards Adelaide. But then you also realize what an awful existence that Adelaide had as a little girl being a Tethered. You know that all the Tethered have been kind of radicalized by Red. She's kind of seen as like the savior of the Tethered. And like one of the last things that Red saw before she was taken was the Hands Across America. And so she basically gets all the Tethered together to show up above ground with these scissors, these gloves, to take care of their above ground counterparts, and then to hold hands to fight back against the government. Because basically we learned that the Tethered was like a failed government experiment. They were trying to see if they could control people above ground, and they just abandoned the project. So that at the end of the film, these two ladies fight to the death, and Red loses. So when we look at Red, she's not really the villain. She's truly a victim. But also look at Adelaide. One of them is the true villain. What do y'all think?